What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, now we have some breaking, interesting news. As we now find out, during the highly anticipated, highly controversial showdown between two-time, two-division, undefeated world champion, who was the WBC reigning junior lightweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, Oscar Valdez, as he took on Olympic gold medalist, Brazilian star boxer, who was undefeated, in Robson Conceicao. The reason that there was a lot of controversy surrounding this fight is because Oscar Valdez, he tested positive for a banned substance on Valdez's list, right? The banned substance was phentermine. His A sample and B sample came back positive. But the WBC, World Boxing Council, President MAURICIO SULAIMAN, they allowed this fight to continue, and they stated that the reason that they allowed it to continue was because phentermine should not be on the banned substance list. Suddenly, the WBC president, MAURICIO SULAIMAN, turned into a chemist and a pharmacist, and he stated that it should not be on the banned substance list, and it's equal to taking 3 Red Bulls. Well, 3 Red Bulls, even if you took 3 Red Bulls, that's a performance enhancer because it lifts you up, okay? Your natural body is not responding, and so you need a pick-me-up, and Red Bull, 1 Red Bull, gives you wings. That's the slogan for Red Bull, okay? They promised that it'll give you a pick-me-up. So if you had 3 Red Bulls, imagine what it could do for you. It's an enhancer, okay? Yet, we saw Oscar Valdez and his team, they stated that he had drank some herbal tea that had phentermine in it, and then they turned around and they changed the story, and they're saying that he didn't have the herbal tea at all either. We know that there's a lot of issues going down with well-renowned trainer of the year, Eddie Reynoso, as he now has 3 fighters that have tested positive for banned substance. He has Oscar Valdez, 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer Canelo Alvarez, who tested positive for clenbuterol, and he also had another fighter who tested Rodriguez, I believe it was. He tested positive for clenbuterol as well, okay? So he had 3 fighters now back in 2019 too, and Oscar Valdez right now. Now we find out the WBC, they backed this fight. They allowed the fight go on. They're not going to punish out Oscar Valdez, and they wasn't going to strip him of his title, okay? And so Conceicao, he defeated Oscar Valdez in the amateurs, and he defeated Oscar Valdez last night. But now, in an interesting finding, one of the judges scored the fight in a fight where most people thought that Robson Conceicao won at least the first 5 rounds, right? Well, one of the judges had it 117 to 110. Clearly missed a good fight and clearly made his decision before the fight even started. And now we know why. Because just like the WBA, World Boxing Association, right? And their president, Gilberto Mendoza, had a lot of people that came down on them because of the fight with Michael Fox and Maestro that took place a few weeks ago, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. That fight that took place, we saw Maestro get knocked down and clearly lose the fight. And yet one judge had it 117 to 110. Similar score. And everybody came down on the WBA, right? Because they said he made his decision before the fight started. And Gilberto Mendoza faced a lot of pressure in which he turned it into a no contest and ordered a fight to be for them to have an immediate rematch if Michael Fox wanted it. Michael Fox has since turned it down. But then we find out that this judge had relations to the WBA, Gilberto Mendoza, and had a negative history, right? Well, guess what we found out about the WBC? That the same judge, and remember, the reason everybody highlighted this judge because of the close competitive fight it was between Mike Fox and Maestro, right? And because the judge had scored it so far apart, like Mike Fox's father said, it just raised the eyebrow and made you pay attention to that judge. Well, last night, we had a similar situation where this judge scored the fight so far apart that everybody got to pay attention. Well, guess what we find out? this very judge has a very close relationship to You Got It, the WBC. He represents the WBC. Okay? He has a close relationship with the WBC. You can see him promoting the WBC. You can see him at a birthday with Mauricio SULAIMAN. So there's no wonder his decision was made before the fight even started. So now we need to call for him to be suspended, just like we asked for the judge for the WBA that called the wide scorecard to be suspended because they made their decision already prior to the fight happening because of their relationship with Gilberto Mendoza and the WBA. Well, here we have the same situation. As this judge has a relationship with the WBC, close relationship, promotes the WBC, has a friendship with Mauricio SULAIMAN, hangs out with Mauricio SULAIMAN, takes pictures with the WBC belt. You don't see him with no other sanctioned body belts. He's not just a fan of the sport of boxing. He's closely tied in to the WBC. He's a friend and relative of the WBC. He has relations to the WBC. He's tied into the WBC. So there's no wonder that everybody said 117, 110. You saw the fight that far apart. You could only find 2 to 3 rounds to give to Robson Conceicao, right? Because his decision was already previously made up. So here we have a situation very similar to the WBA, and we need to call for this fight to be called a no contest, just like the WBA did, and everybody pressured the WBA to do the right thing and call the fight at least a no contest or overturn it. So we need the WBC to call this fight a no contest. And this judge needs to be suspended because of his relationship with the WBC, and the WBC needs to be investigated as well. So this judge name is Stephen Blea. Stephen Blea. And now we can see, go to his social media, go to his Twitter. You can see his relationship with the WBC all over the place. He's not even trying to attempt to hide it. That's a conflict of interest. And the judge that is judging the fight can have a close relationship like this. How could he possibly not allow emotion in his relations with the WBC and their fighter, Oscar Valdez, to get in the way? It's a conflict of interest. And the referee gave Oscar Valdez 3 warnings for punches behind the head. And immediately the first punch that Robson Conceicao landed behind the head, and it was in sportsmanship. They were tied up. He tapped Oscar Valdez on the back. Then he tapped him on the back of the head to say, okay, that's enough. Stop holding. Let's separate and start the fight. And the judge called a halt to the fight, and then said, I'm taking a point from Robson Conceicao in the 9th round. I'm taking a point for him showing sportsmanship. He tapped him on his back. Then he tapped him on the back of the head. He did like this, and then he tapped him on his back to say, all right, let's go, let's go, let's go. He didn't punch him behind the head. He tapped him to let him know, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. That's enough. Let's break. And the referee decided to take a point away and made it a 10-8 round. But it didn't matter anyway. It didn't factor in anyway, because it didn't matter what he did on this judge's scorecard, Blea. It didn't matter what he did on Blea's scorecard because he already made his decision before the fight even started. And so, like I said, Stephen Blea needs to be suspended. The WBC needs to be investigated. And this fight needs to be ruled a no contest. Because this is a conflict of interest, just like we saw with the WBA. And the pressure was on the WBA to overturn it or call it a no contest and investigate this judge. Now, that judge also had some very, very nasty words on social media to a certain, we already know. But this is a conflict of interest, and this judge already made his decision prior to the fight even starting. This is what's wrong with the sport of boxing. It needs to be dealt with. This needs to be cleaned up. And prior to social media, you could get away with stuff like this. Not anymore. Now it's going to be on the front page of every platform. So this needs to be investigated. This is a fight with Robson Conceicao. Everybody was against him. The referee was against him. The judge clearly was against him. The WBC was against him. And obviously, Oscar Valdez. But he was up against it. He was in a no-win situation from the very beginning. In the fight that he clearly was outboxing Oscar Valdez. Just look at the face of Oscar Valdez and look at the face of Robson Conceicao. Tells the whole story. But the WBC, now, they already showed us that they don't even have the morals to make the right decision when a fighter tests positive for a banned substance. And they defend the banned substance. And not only that, they have their own hired as one of the judges to assure that their fighter gets the victory. That lets you know everything you need to know. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. You can see this judge. His name is Blea. His name is Stephen Blea. STEPHENBLEA. Stephen Blea. Go check him out on Twitter, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Conflict of interest. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Oh, it is your boy Jaden Kiss. Make sure you check out Blue Blood Sports TV. It's going down.